to me about how your other as a race, your other as your sexual orientation, your other as your philosophies around DEI, diversity, equity, and I don't even use inclusion. I use welcoming and belonging in the space that you're at. How have those others shaped the work that you do both here and the work that you tried to do in Fort Lauderdale as the chief there? For my audience, he was the chief in Fort Lauderdale as well, holding it down in Florida under that governorship is another podcast altogether.
Yeah. So other whether it's my parents for your viewing or for your listening audience, my mother was white and my father was black, uh, and I was raised in that household. My mom separated from my stepdad when I was 13 and raised me into my adulthood. So, but the other in that regard show and provided me with just different shared experiences, right? I remember growing up as a kid, and I went to Catholic school. My sister and I were the only two brown kids in the school, and assimilating in that environment. But we were never, I don't think we were ever treated as outcasts. We were really well received, even some would say accepted, right? And in that, I have my shared experiences from the white community and my shared experience from the black community were unique, but they shaped like how I viewed the world. And then I see like my experience not be the same as some of my black friends' experience with policing, right? And so I think as I grew up and noting those differences, uh, it shaped how I knew I wanted our profession to be. That we should have the same shared experiences. That it shouldn't be different based on look. If again, most of your listening audience doesn't see me, but I present as very white, and my last name's Scirotto. So I was treated a lot differently than my sister, who presents much more black, and her father's last name is Cook, right? So even in our household, our shared experiences were a little different in the community space. So just knowing that I want our profession to be different, and that those relationships should be different with policing and community. Then I think about like sexuality, like being in a profession. I remember, talking to a young kid, probably like that 18, 19-year version of me, but I'm a little older now, and I just came out, and him saying, is it even legal for me to be the police? Like thinking that there's a law against being gay and a cop. But then I have to reflect back to how terrified I was about being out because who I love could cost me the profession that I love. Right. But then to understand like ensuring or assuring this young man in his most formidable years, like, no, like this profession is welcoming. The fears that I had, and I feel very blessed being a member of the Pittsburgh Bureau of Police, is the fears that I had didn't exist when I came out. And so that I could say with confidence, at least in this police department, that your sexuality, the person who you love, won't impact or influence the profession that you love if you do it right.